Okay, ma'am. Now you can share your presentation.
Okay. Okay. My screen is visible or not, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Just do the full screen so that.
Yeah. Okay. Shall I start, ma'am?
Just 1 minute, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
if it is possible, can you please start your video for 1 minute if it is possible?
No, ma'am, actually.
Okay, okay, not an
I'm
issue, not
sorry.
an issue, ma'am. Just 1 second,
Yeah.
then we will start. Just a moment. Okay, ma'am, now you can start your presentation.
Okay. So, very good morning to all participants. I'm Ms. Janki Patel, Associate Professor from Sharda School of Pharmacy. Welcome you to certificate course on regulatory aspect of herbal formulation that is organized by the Sharda School of Pharmacy. My topic of my today's talk is a forensic aspect of herbs and its formulation. So, starting with introduction. So, herbs we have been used historically to treat a wide range of illness and diseases. In the past, people relied on nature to heal them of their ailment. That ailment means any illness that is not very serious. Okay, so that is a terminology used for that ailment, which lead them to seek out a solution from the natural world. They thought that since nature had based on upon them plants and herbs, these natural remedies could cure any illness. So all of we know very well that herbal medicines are not only used by today's, but it is used from many years ago. Since the uses of the pharmaceuticals can lead to health problem and discontent, people are now gravitating back toward a natural and herbal product. As a result, patient and the consumers are choosing these herbal therapies as their preferred course of actions. Due to all we know that due to the pandemic, that is a corona or a COVID-19 pandemic, the suddenly vast population is drawn toward the herbal drug treatment in the particularly India due to the increase in the demand of this herbal product. This purity and effectiveness of this product, which are easily available in the market, that is a become a matter of a concern. Okay, that will lead to a gap between the demand and the supply of these herbal medicines. As the herbal product are increasing in the demand, the problem of adulteration in the herbal product is also becoming a challenge day by day. These herbal formulation, which are available in the market without prescription, and manufacturer claim that as purely herbal may contain synthetic substance in the concentration far above the therapeutic range, and that may result in the severe side effect or potentially fatal interaction with the conventional drug. Okay, अभी हम मार्केट में जाते हैं किसी भी टाइप की हर्बल मेडिसिन परचेस करने के लिए, तो उसके ऊपर लिखा होता है कि दिस इज अ हर्बल मेडिकेशन, बट दैट इज नॉट 100% herbal medication, as they are adding such type of a synthetic material into the herbal formulation. So there are chances of adulteration and the substitution into the herbal formulation that is readily available in the market nowadays. Therefore, to reduce this type of adulteration and the substitution practice, a stronger regulations are required to control the quality of this herbal preparation, including labeling rule, licensing, and the quality assurance mechanism, and to verify the ingredients which are useful into the herbal formulation. At the time of the storage, the deterioration of the herbs that will lead to deprivation of the therapeutic ingredients, metabolite production with no activity, and many times it is also result in the टॉक्सिक मेटाबोलाइट प्रोडक्शन. सो क्या होता है कि हर्बल मेडिसिन जो होती है वो उसकी जो स्टोरेज कंडीशन होती है वो अप्रोप्रिएट नहीं होती है. सो ड्यू टू दैट रीजन देर आर सर्टेन चांसेस लाइक जो थेराप्यूटिक इंग्रेडिएंट्स होता है जिसको हम एक्टिव फार्मास्यूटिकल इंग्रेडिएंट बोलते हैं, तो उसका क्या होता है डेप्रिवेशन हो जाता है. तो उसकी जो क्वांटिटी होती है दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द थेराप्यूटिक एक्शन, तो उसकी क्वांटिटी में डेप्रिवेशन हो जाता है. या तो फिर ऐसे टाइप के मेटाबोलाइट्स जो होते हैं वो प्रोड्यूस होते हैं दैट कि उसकी कोई किसी भी टाइप की केमिकल या फिर थेराप्यूटिक एक्टिविटी होती नहीं है, या तो फिर वो टॉक्सिक सब्सटेंस में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं. Many physical factors directly or indirectly responsible for the deterioration, such as moisture, presence, and the intensity of the light, air, and temperature. As we all know that the moisture is the most prominent condition for the microbial growth. Okay, so these physical factors that can provide a favorable environment to grow the bacteria, mites, and molds. There are lots of medicinal floras sold in market in the form of small twigs, pieces of roots, stems or leaf of which decoction is made and consumed. जो हम काढ़ा पीते हैं. Okay, so that we all know that these parts of the plants are available in the market, and by using these medicinal parts of a plant, we are going to prepare decoction and and it is given to the patient for the treatment. The consumer are unaware of authenticity of this crude drug that leads to deterioration in their health owing to the consumption of inferior quality of the product or their substance. और मार्केट में से जो प्रोडक्ट लेके आते हैं तो कंज्यूमर को पता नहीं होता है कि वो जो एक्चुअल में जो लेके आए हैं वो 100% ऑथेंटिफाइड है कि नहीं है, या चांसेस है कि वो सब्स्टिट्यूटेड ड्रग भी हो सकती है. The herbal drug could also be in the form of the tablet, powder, etc., which might be adulteration with a look like a plant product. Thus, a new branch of forensic science or herbal drug forensics, which deal with identification of fake herbal product by a various technique, which might be chemical or biological in nature, that has come up. So, these are all the introductory portion. If I summarize why this branch is needed at the current scenario. So as the herbal drug जो है हमारी वो उसका यूसेज जो है वो डे बाय डे इंक्रीज हो रहा है. सो देयर विल बी अ गैप बिटवीन द डिमांड एंड द सप्लाई. तो डिमांड ज्यादा हो रही है और सप्लाई जो है वो कम हो रहा है. तो उसको उसको ओवरकम, ये जो डिमांड है, ये जो गैप है उसको फिल अप करने के लिए जो जो होलसेलर जो है, जो रिटेलर जो है, जो ये हर्बल मेडिकेशंस को सेल करते हैं वो लोग क्या करते हैं, तो वो लोग एडल्ट्रेशन करते हैं या फिर सब्स्टिट्यूशन करते हैं. और द अनदर रीजन फॉर द एडल्ट्रेशन एंड द सब्स्टिट्यूशन है दैट इज अ मनी मेकिंग माइंडसेट. तो ये दो मेन रीजंस है फॉर द एडल्ट्रेशन एंड द सब्स्टिट्यूशन. और to prevent these two types of the malfunctioning in the herbal formulation, there is a one branch that is called as a forensic science or herbal drug forensics that has to come up to check the quality of herbal medicines. Forensic botany, to study of a plant and the role in the criminal investigation, is referred as a forensic botany. There are many poisonous plants are available, and people are also aware their use that are used for the clinical for a criminal application. So forensic botany not only involve the examination of the botanical evidence present near the victim or at the crime scene, but also involve the detection of any unwanted material that is present in the herbal drugs. Though this part is untouched in the forensic botany and is considered differently under Ayurveda, but whenever any illegal, intentional or unintentional substitution or adulteration in trade of a natural or authenticate product comes, Forensic science has always played a crucial role. Herbal drug forensics. So herbal drug forensics, it is a one branch of forensics and a multidisciplinary science that not only answer the question as to what and how much related to the drug safety quality issue, but also investigate the source, fat, implication, and the possibilities related to the adulteration, falsification, counterfeiting, and the substitution in the nutraceutical एंड द हर्बल मेडिसिन। ये जो फॉरेंसिक हर्बल ड्रग फॉरेंसिक जो ब्रांच है, तो वो क्या करती है कि यानी हर्बल मेडिसिन को लेके उसमें किसी भी टाइप का फॉल्सिफिकेशन हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है, एडल्ट्रेशन हुआ है कि नहीं है, वो तो चेक करता ही है। अलॉन्ग विद दैट व्हाट आर द सोर्स, कि कहाँ से एडल्ट्रेशन हुआ है, किस टाइप का एडल्ट्रेशन हुआ है, तो ये सब का वो जांच करता है। और not only this is applicable only for herbal drug medicine, but it is also applicable on the nutraceuticals. So nutraceuticals are also nowadays are widely used in the current scenario. So nutraceuticals are basically drugs or the herbal supplement consumed for the extra nutrient intake that is not fulfilled by the routine diet. Now tried in the herbal drug. So based on the National Medicinal Plant Board, that is the NMPB report, India's domestic herbal industry comprise approximately 8,610 licensed herbal unit, thousands of cottage level unregulated herbal unit, and millions of folk healers and household users of the thousands of the herbal raw drugs. This is not surprising given that India is a major exporter of the herbal drug. Okay, so this is a current approach in the Indian market. So यहाँ पे क्या है कि millions of folk healer, किसी भी एरिया में आप जाओगे तो वहां पे आपको एक मिनिमम वन जो है वो फोक हीलर का ऐसे स्टॉल दिखेगा कि यहाँ पे आपको हर्बल मेडिसिन है वो अवेलेबल रहेगी, या तो फिर हाउस होल्ड यूजर्स भी रहेंगे। दैट नंबर्स ऑफ द हाउस होल्ड यूजर्स आर इन मिलियंस। अमंग दिस मिलियन the licensed herbal unit is only about 8,610. So this is the data that is reported through the NMBP. Presently, medicinal plants are marketed and traded through the mandis and other wholesale markets in the India with a numerous intermediate in between. The trade is rather opaque and the information on price arrive and other trend are difficult for the farmers and the growers to access. So NMBP has been initiating many steps in order to fill this gap. Okay, so जो farmers है कि जो ये हर्बल प्लांट्स है, हर्बल मटेरियल जो है वो सप्लाई करते हैं, और दूसरे साइड पे कंज्यूमर कि जो पेशेंट्स है तो वो हर्बल ड्रग्स का यूज करते हैं। सो ये दोनों दो जो है वो मेन पॉइंट है, उसके बीच में आते हैं इंटरमीडिएट्स। So due to the presence of this intermediate, there are injustice to the farmers. Okay, so nowadays this NMBP has initiating some many steps to fill this gap so that this farmer get enough pay of their supplying the herbal medicines. Demand and the supply position of the herbal medicinal plants. So Indian possesses a robust heritage of a traditional medicine that exemplified by the classical medical system of the Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani, as we say, ASU medicinal system. Besides this traditional healthcare practice, there exists a very diverse area specific and a community specific folk healthcare practice. Both this Indian classical system of this medicine and the folk health care system are highly dependent on the raw herbal drug material that is derived from the diverse species of a medicinal plant. A major percentage of raw drugs are used in making a plant extract. This is carried out either by the end product manufacturer or the by a extract company. We all know that whichever the herbal formulation are made into the market, these are made from the extracting the active constituents of the that particular plants, and with the use of this plant extract, they are going to formulate the herbal formulation. In addition to this, there is a exorbitant demand in the developed countries for the plant-based product, including the health supplement, herbal health drink to boost immunity, to boost energy, to maintain the dietary supplements. So these herbal drinks are a major role in the current scenario as a nutraceutical, herbal cosmetics, and various other health and the personal care products. The current worth of this global market for the herbal product is estimated around the 60 US billion per year with the growth rate of the 7%. And if we are talking about this condition in the India, so trade in the medicinal plants account for the turnover of rupees 2300 crores of Ayurvedic and herbal products. Currently, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, has opened door to explore more in the Ayurvedic treasures. This would help in enabling rapid access of this herbal drug into the developed country market as well as in the Indian market. So there is a constraint to development of a trade. So while the developing country like India that has a huge potential in the marketing and the trade of the herbal drug, that is owing to their ancient knowledge and experience with the Ayurveda. But they face a number of the challenges and limitations that needed to be addressed to meet the growing demand in the developed country markets. So there are also these are the various constraint parameter to the development of the trade. So first one is strict regulatory laws. So to regulate the collection, processing, storage, and manufacturing, so there should be a strict norms that is laid by the concerned authority, or either it can be as a local level or national level, or it can be on the international level. The second one, that is intellectual property right. So plants that can we all know that plants cannot be protected under the IPR as they have been used in traditional medicines, but any new discovery with a herbal drug that show its effectiveness in the treating a certain ailment, or that is particularly not a danger illness. So that is there is a very little knowledge of a whole IPR field in the developing countries, and that's why the access to its all still is lower. So to develop the intellectual property rights in the developing countries is most important. Next one is pre and post harvesting practice. So this should be monitored like this practice that must be standardized so that the constant quality that can be met. Then after later lack of a proper knowledge following by a lack of a database. So there must be a herbal drug database of all the medicinal plant that is found in the country. There is availability, then the flowering season, medicinal property, toxicity, and exploitations of nature resources that can be stopped. So there should be a one proper database for the all the herbal medicine that is available in the particular region. So there not should be, it must be presented proper database of a herbal medicine. Then after next one is a lack of access to latest technology. So there is a less availability into the developing countries, lack in the access is the latest technology for particularly quality assessment, which result into the compromising with the quality and the efficacy of the drug. Deliberate malpractice. Next one is a deliberate malpractice. So sometime what happened that deliberate adulteration and the substitution in the herbal drug to make more money, and always user suffer due to this inferior quality of the product, which may a time produce a side effect. So this will leads to a harmful effect to the consumer, or we can say patient. Constant volume, quality assurance, research and development. Now, this one next topic is a type of legal and illegal and malpractices. So there is two major types of malpractices, that is adulteration and substitution. So first one is adulteration. So it is a mainly activity of replacing the original crude herb partially or totally with other material which has no therapeutic value or lower in the quality, and these substitutions are conducted to make the financial gain by selling the inferior quality of the hub. Another illegal or malpractice is the substitution. And the substitution is one type of the process of replacing the partially or the completely and authenticate herbal drug with its different species or with different plant part or with any other material that have similar morphology or functional property, so that the substitution may be difficult to detect. In short, if we can differentiate in the adulteration and the substitution. So adulteration is an act of reducing the quality, while substitution is an act of replacing the substance. सो एडल्ट्रेशन में मेनली क्या होता है कि ऐसी चीजें हम ऐड करते हैं कि जिससे हमारा जो हर्बल फॉर्मुलेशन जो है उसकी क्वालिटी में हमको कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़ेगा। वाइल सब्स्टिट्यूशन में क्या है कि जो हम एक्टिव प्लांट्स यूज कर रहे हैं तो सिमिलर प्लांट्स को विथ यूज ऑफ द सिमिलर प्लांट हम ओरिजिनल प्लांट को सब्स्टिट्यूट करते हैं। So these are the common example of adulteration that is mostly used nowadays. For example, milk. So milk is adulterated with water, urea, and starch, and that may lead to reduced nutritional value of milk. Also, that will lead to a digestive issue. Then, after another example is a black pepper that may be adulterated with papaya seed and the millet flour. Also, that is also called produce a digestive problem and the respiratory issues. Sugar, so sugar can be adulterated with a chalk, lime, sand. This will also cause a digestive problem and the weakening of a bone. Next one is a honey. So honey is adulterated with sugar syrup and glucose. And this will lead to reduction in the nutritional value as well as allergic reaction. Ghee. So ghee is adulterated with vanaspati ghee and animal fat. Also, that will lead to a very serious heart problem. Tea. So tea is adulterated with or used tea leaves. They are going to use used tea leaf, dry these tea leaves and mix with the original tea and artificial colorant, and that will also lead to a reduced quality and digestive issue. And next one is spices like a cumin, so that we adulterated with sawdust and starch, and that will lead to reduce the flavor and the digestive problem. So commonly we can see it's a harmful effect that is a mainly digestive issue, allergic reaction, weakening bone. Okay, so these are the common examples of common adulteration in the food. Direct or indirect, or direct or intentional adulteration. So this adulteration is carried out on the basis of similarity in the morphological characteristic of original herb. In this kind of adulteration, different type of substance which are lower in quality and therapeutic value are used as adulterant, and due to this it lack the therapeutic value in which it is a claim. क्या करते हैं कि जानबूझ के किसी भी जो हर्बल मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स है या फिर उसका किसी भी फॉर्मुलेशन बना रहे तो उसमें डिफरेंट टाइप का जो मटेरियल है कि जिसकी मॉर्फोलॉजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक सेम है तो उसको क्या करते हैं ऐड करते हैं। जो ऐड करते हैं उसकी जो क्वालिटी है दैट इज अ वेरी लोअर क्वालिटी एंड आल्सो वेरी लोअर इन अ थेराप्यूटिक वैल्यू। These practices are mainly used for those drugs which are overpriced and higher in demand to make the financial profit. Many other types of herbal preparation are also adulterated with the chemical drugs, but this type of the adulteration can result in a severe health problem after consuming it in the long time. Second type of adulteration is indirect or unintentional adulteration. पर्सन को पता नहीं होता है कि वो adulteration कर रहा है, that is a unintentional adulteration. This type of the adulteration that many times occur without wish or knowledge of the maker of the producer. Due to the lack of the knowledge and the absence of proper means of evaluation and authenticate herbal medicine partially or totally free from the active ingredient may enter into the market. जो herbal formulation बना है सो उसमें किसी भी टाइप का एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट प्रेजेंट नहीं है तो उसकी थेरापेटिक वैल्यू जीरो होगी। तो इस टाइप का जो फॉर्मुलेशन है वो लोग वो unintentionally market में launch कर देता है। Sometimes the adulteration occurs due to the negligence of the person who is collecting the herb, and therefore the herbal collector should have knowledge the genuine plant and that part of the plant which is higher in the therapeutic ingredient, and the collection of the herbs that should be done at the correct time and the season to achieve the highest therapeutic value from the constituents present in it. उनको पता है कि किसी भी प्लांट है तो फॉर एग्जांपल किसी प्लांट का लीफ यूज हो रहा है, किसी प्लांट का स्टेम यूज हो रहा है, किसी प्लांट का रूट यूज हो रहा है, किसी प्लांट का फ्रूट यूज हो रहा है। तो जो कलेक्टर है तो उसको पता होना चाहिए कि फॉर द थेरापेटिक एक्शन प्लांट का किस पार्ट को हमको कलेक्ट करना है और किस सीजन में कलेक्ट करना है कि उसकी वजह से हमको हाईएस्ट थेरापेटिक वैल्यू हमको मिल सकती है। सो दिस इज अबाउट द indirect or unintentional adulteration. Now coming forward the types of adulteration and substitution. So first one is a substitution with substandard commercial varieties. So adulterant resemble the original crude drug morphologically, chemically, therapeutically, but are substandard in nature and the cheaper in cost. जिसके साथ हम एडल्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं तो वो जो स्पीसीज है वो जो ओरिजिनल ड्रग है उसके साथ सिमिलर है, उसकी उसकी थेराप्यूटिक वैल्यू भी आ रही है, केमिकली भी वो है जो सिमिलर है, लेकिन क्या है वो सब स्टैंडर्ड है इनटू द नेचर और that is also cheaper in the cost as compared to the original plant. So this kind of a substitution is called as a substitution with a substandard commercial varieties. Second one is a substitution with a superficially similar inferior drugs. So inferior drug may or may not have any chemical or therapeutic value. They resemble only morphologically. So due to its resemblance, they are used as a adulterant. ये जो substituted drug है तो वो सिर्फ morphologically same है, उसका केमिकल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट जो ओरिजिनल ड्रग है उससे डिफर है तो उसकी किसी भी टाइप की थेरापेटिक वैल्यू रहेगी नहीं। Next one is substitution with artificially manufactured substance. So this drug is adulterated with the substance which has been prepared artificially. The artificially manufactured substance resemble the original drug. This method is followed for the costlier drug. तो उसमें क्या है कि सिंथेटिक सब्सटेंस जो है वो हर्बल के अंदर मिक्स किया जाता है। नेक्स्ट वन इज अ सब्स्टिट्यूशन विद exhausted drug. So the same drug is admixed, but that drug is devoid a medicinally active substance. It has been extracted already. इसमें किस टाइप के ड्रग्स के साथ सब्स्टिट्यूशन होता है कि जिसमें से केमिकल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट जो है वो ऑलरेडी एक्सट्रैक्ट आउट कर दिया गया है। ओके, मेनली
Excuse me, ma'am.
यस मैम।
Janvi,
यस मैम।
okay, within 1 minute, the meeting will be over. So all are requested to please join in the same meeting. Okay, the
ओके
same meeting. Okay, ma'am?
ओके मैम।
So
Okay, screen is visible or not?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay. So next one is a substitution with a exhausted drug. So same drug is administered, but that drug is devoid of medicinally active substance, as I discussed earlier. Coming forward, a substitution with a synthetic chemical to enhance natural character. So there is a addition of synthetic chemicals to enhance the natural characters of exhausted drug, like citral is added to the citrus oil, like a lemon and orange oil. This is a most common example. Next one is presence of vegetative matter of a same plant. Some miniature plant growing along with a medicinal plant that are added due to their color, odor, and constituents. Next one is a harmful adulterant. Some are a harmful material as the adulterant are collected from the market waste material and admixed with the drug. It is done for the liquid drug. So these are the most common harmful adulterant. Next one is the adulteration of powders. So drugs which are in the form of the powder are frequently adulterated, like exhausted ginger and red sandalwood in the capsicum powder, and powder bark that is adulterated with a brick powder. So these are the most common adulteration that is shown into the powder formulation. Next one is a reason for the adulteration and substitution. So किस reason से adulteration और substitution किया जाता है for the current scenario? First one is non-availability of authenticate drug, uncertainty in the identified of a drug. कंज्यूमर और जो कलेक्टर होता है उनको पता ही नहीं होता है कि जो ड्रग है वो कैसे दिखती है, उसकी मॉर्फोलॉजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या है. देन आफ्टर कॉस्ट ऑफ द ड्रग्स का जो कॉस्ट है वो बहुत हायर साइड है. जियोग्राफिकल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ ड्रग, सो पर्टिकुलर जो लोकल एरिया है तो उसमें अवेलेबल नहीं है, तो इसकी वजह से एडल्ट्रेशन किया जाता है. एडवर्ड रिएक्शन ऑफ द ड्रग, कंफ्यूजन इन द वर्नाक्युलर नेम, नेम में जो है वो कंफ्यूजन रहता है. देन आफ्टर लेक ऑफ द नॉलेज अबाउट ओरिजिनल और ऑथेंटिकेट सोर्स, पता नहीं होता है कि ऑथेंटिकेट सोर्स कौन सा है. Similarity in the morphologically plants are looking same, so person cannot differentiate both the plants. Similarity in a color or dye, shades जो होते हैं वो सेम होते हैं, and a careless collection. So these are the common reasons for the adulteration and the substitution. Now, laws that is related to the collection, harvest, processing, and the trade in the medicinal flora. So, if we are talking in particularly India, there are three acts that cover the medicinal plant issue at the present, and that are Indian Forest Act 1927. The Forest Conservation Act 1980, the Midlife Protection Act 1972. This act do not cover much under their domain with respect to import, export, cultivation, and trade related issue. Also, they focus on the plant and animal resource, while they are sorry, with respect to import, export, cultivation, and trade related issue. Also, they focus on the plant and the animal resources as a whole, but there is no any separate law in the our country that focus on the conservation of a medicinal flora in the particular. So ये जो law है तो वो स्पेसिफिक प्लांट्स के लिए, क्या प्लांट्स का इंपोर्ट कैसे करना है, एक्सपोर्ट कैसे करना है, उसका कल्टीवेशन कैसे करना है, तो उसको टारगेट नहीं करता है. ये जो लॉज जो बनाए गए हैं वो इन जनरल लॉ बनाए गए हैं. The export and the import of the medicinal flora in the India is governed according to the Convention on the International Trade in the Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and the Flora 1975, that is commonly known as a CITES. Being international law, CITES does not cover a vast flora which is a country specific. So beside this CITES, there is another organization that is called as the International Union for the Conservation of Natural and the Natural Resources, that is that work in the field of nature conservation and the sustainable use of the natural resources. It is involved in the data gathering and analysis, research, field project, advocacy, and education. In India, the Drug and the Cosmetic Act 1940 design or for the ASU drugs regulate their trade, misbranding, adulteration, or substitution, and the spurious drug use in any herbal and poorly herbal ASU formulation. So ये जो हर्बल और पॉली हर्बल फॉर्मुलेशन है तो उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए एक्टिव जो एक्ट है दैट इज अ ड्रग एंड कॉस्मेटिक रूल दैट इज अ 90 दैट वाज established in the 1940. Often local vendor and manufacturer escape just a minute. Okay, often local vendor and manufacturer escape such law to promote their brand and make a profit. Now, forensic implementation of a herbal drug. Why it is necessary to imply the forensic on the herbal drugs? So, the consumption of adulterated herbal medicine is the herb drug interaction. The contaminated herbal preparation that can have anything ranging from the heavy metals to pesticides in them that may show the antagonistic effect upon interacting with a chemical drug consumed by the patient. The online websites are flooded with such nutraceuticals, dietary supplements, and other herbal powders that claim relief and other health associated benefits, but neither such companies nor such herbal supplements are often registered under any government regulatory agencies. So to control these all types of the marketed formulation for the marketing of such a type of nutraceutical dietary supplement and also herbal medicines or herbal polyherbal medicines, so to control all these type of formulation comes into the market, and there is a one branch that is called as a forensic science for specifically herbal drug that comes into the market. So the simple goal and the if I can say a simple and the main goal about forensics, that is anything which is to find out anything which is illegal and unregulated by the law directly or indirectly trend to harm individual automatically comes under the purview of forensic science. So forensic science क्या है कि किसी भी जो हर्बल फॉर्मुलेशन है तो उसमें किसी भी टाइप का इरेगुलेशन इलीगल जो एक्ट है वो परफॉर्म हो रहा है तो उसको फाइंड आउट करेगा. Either it can be from directly or indirectly tends, and that may cause a harmful effect to the consumer or we can say a patient. तो उस पे एक्शन लेगा. Course of action. So in the light the above stated issue, there are a number of the measurement that can be taken at the country as well as the local level for the improving the herbal drug sector and enhancing the development of a more effective trade in a medicinal plant and their products in a developing country. So first is improvement in the land resources. So in order to guarantee an uninterrupted supply of the raw drug, there must be a provision for the organized and protected cultivable land that ensure the regular supply. So this is the first action that can be done. Second one is a reduction in intermediaries. So there are a number of the mediators involved in the market of the herbal medicine that are needed to be reduced to avoid malfunction and to enhance the profit of primary beneficiaries like farmers. Third one is research and development. So research should be carried out that should be carried out selected like a species and their active constituent processing that is required for the preservation that is highly needed in a developing country like India. Next one is a legal provision. So legal provision is required, or we can say there should be a strict law and the regulatory provision in the any local area or any country for the high quality supply of the planting material, for the quality control system, for the improved cultivation, etc. Value addition. So value should be added for the herbal medicine that can enhance the quality of a herbal market formulation. Development of a market chain. So the one type of we can say holistic approach needed to be adopted for the promotion of the trade. Specific intervention like only target the collectors are the insufficient. For that, the original nature of the procedure that should be explored. Next one is post collection handling. So after the collection, how the medicament should be stored, how it can be processing. So this parameter should be kept in our mind. Then after sustainable development, so there are resources like in the sustainable manner, so that the judicious use of the resources is ensured. In-depth approach, if we are talking about the in-depth approach, so a more in-depth approach should be undertaken to clarify the market issue and consider more effective solution. Next one is awareness and the knowledge. So there should be awareness program that conducted at the interval for the consumer to educate them about what they consume, how they can decide which product is good for them, how they can identify whatever they are going to consume that is original one, or they are substituted or adulterated. So there is a awareness program should be programmer should be monitored and organized. Standardize and quality assurance. So regulating agencies must codify certain standard and parameter that must be fulfilled by the product. And last one is a forensic aid. So there should be well-defined laboratories under the forensic department that can analyze the trafficked herbal drug and the authenticated it. Rigorous practice. So unlike the conventional allopathic and homeopathic drugs that are usually preferred from the synthetic chemically pure material by means of reproducible manufacturing techniques and procedure, ASU drug may vary in the composition and the properties. Thus, in the case of these Ayurvedic Siddha Unani drugs, also it is a prerequisite to ensure the reproducibility of the batches of medicine by its correct identification and the quality assurance, so that its safety and efficacy can be maintained. जिस तरह से एलोपैथिक ड्रग में continuous monitoring होता है, so same that way into the herbal formulation there must be a continuous monitoring of the manufacturing of a herbal product, herbal formulations. Adulteration and the substitution and the usage of an inferior quality of drug often result in the degradation of a clinical effect of this ASU drug. These make authentication of a crucial step in the successful and the reliable application. This authentication of ASU drugs that involve various techniques, like first one is a taxonomic identification. So in this method, the plant is at its source is determined based on its scientific bionomical nomenclature, like a genus and species determination. This give the information about the botanical origin of the plant. So first and very basic identification is a taxonomic identification. Next one is a herbarium voucher sample. So the sample of a collected material that should be authenticated by an expert in the field and kept as a voucher sample. in the herbarium or research institute for the future reference. So that is shown in the image in the corner. So one type of a herbarium is prepared with the help of a expert कि यस ये जो प्लांट है ये ऑथेंटिकेट प्लांट है और उसकी जो मॉर्फोलॉजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है वो सही है और इस टाइप जो हमारा जो सैंपल है तो उसके साथ मैच होना चाहिए for the testing of originality of the plant. Macroscopic method. So macroscopic examination of a botanical material involve the examination of a certain macroscopic property, also known as a organoleptic property, like a shape, size, color, texture, surface characteristic, then after fracture characteristic, order, and taste. So these all parameters are measured with the use of the macroscopic method to find out the drug is original or not. Microscopic method. So microscopy is a technique that is used to determine the structural, cellular, and internal tissue features of the plant material. It helps in the identification and differentiation between two herbal that are similar in the morphological. अगर दो ड्रग का जो है वो मॉर्फोलॉजी सेम है तो उसको हम कैसे डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हैं, तो उसको हम डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हैं with the use of a microscopic method. जो माइक्रोस्कोपिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होती है वो डिफरेंशिएट होती है फ्रॉम प्लांट टू प्लांट. Next one is a physicochemical method. So with the use of a physicochemical parameter like moisture content, total ash content, water soluble ash, acid insoluble ash, and sulfated ash. So these values of the individual drug can be compared with the standard values of the Indian pharmacopoeia, and thus their identity can be ascertained. सो ये जितने भी जो फिजिको केमिकल मेथड है वो उसको एक्सपेरिमेंट किया जाता है और जो रिजल्ट आया है, जो टेस्ट रिजल्ट आया है उसको स्टैंडर्ड के साथ मैच किया जाता है और फिर उसको कंक्लूड किया जाता है कि आइदर ड्रग इज दिस पैरामीटर्स आर गोइंग टू मैच विद द रेफरेंस और नॉट. Spectral method. So various type of the spectral methods are nowadays widely used for checking this adulteration or substitution. So method like IR, that is infrared spectroscopy, UV visible spectroscopy, this method are extremely helpful for the structure elucidation of the API that is derived from the botanical material. Not only structure elucidation, but also its fingerprinting can be done by using this technique. Next, that is the most widely used technique, that is the chromatographic method. So various type of the chromatographic method like HPLC, capillary electrophoresis, TLC, gas chromatography are widely used for this separation or identification of adulteration or substitution. If we are talking about particularly TLC, so TLC is the earliest of the chromatographic method. वो basic chromatographic technique है that is used for the separation of the plant constituent. The main advantage of the TLC is to develop the fingerprint or chemical profile of the herbal medicines that are its simplicity, versatility, high velocity, and very sensitivity. So due to these characteristics, this is a mostly acceptable technique. Uh, if you are talking about HPLC, so HPLC can be used to analyze for almost all the compound in the herbal medicine. That can be linked with various detector like a UV detector, refractive index detector, mass spectrophotometric detector that can be helpful to know with knowing that exact chemical makeup of the component. Gas chromatography that is useful for the volatile and other thermally unstable compound that cannot be detected with the use of a traditional, that is HPLC method. So in that case particularly volatile oil जो हमको determine करना होता है, so उसमें हम gas chromatography का use कर सकते हैं. Next one is a chemical fingerprinting. So chemical fingerprinting is a unique pattern like just like a human fingerprint. हर एक इंसान की जो fingerprint होती है वो unique होती है. So like this concept is useful in the chemical fingerprinting. So chemical marker are generally used in the chemical fingerprinting. So chemical marker as a chemically defined constituent or a group of a constituent of a herbal medicine that is produced which are of interest. हमारा जो टारगेट कंपाउंड होता है तो उसका एक केमिकल फिंगरप्रिंटिंग जो होता है एज अ स्टैंडर्ड डेवलप किया जाता है or such chemical markers are critical in the identification and the authentication of the plants from which they are derived. So this technique is used. Molecular marker. So molecular markers are constitute that included the primary and the secondary metabolite and other macromolecules like a nucleic acid. So like a DNA that is used in a as a marker that can be reliable instrument as it is in case of a disputed identity of a human being in establishing the genetic makeup and the polymorphism of each species. So this concept is also useful for the checking the quality of herbal formulations. So yes, it is done. Is there any query? So you can ask me.
If anybody wants to ask any questions, please.
Anyone has a query, so they can ask me.
I think, ma'am, nobody has the question.
Okay.
So, thank you so much for the giving this valuable information related to the forensic science related to the herbal formulation. So, we would like to give you a certificate as a token of appreciation for the taking of the session in the certificate course.
Thank you,
So,
ma'am.
please accept it, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you so much.
and again, thank you so much for delivering a lecture on this certificate course. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all participants to listening me.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.